Dangerous flooding continues to rock the Carolinas, including right here in the Triad, where two tow truck drivers jump in to save the day.
A man clinging to his car for dear life when this road turned into a raging river.
Rain continues to push across the Carolinas tonight. How long will the flooding threat persist? Your full forecast is coming up.
Never think water could do this. I never imagined it.
And families forced from their homes as the water levels will not stop rising. WFMY News 2 at 11 starts right now. A state of emergency declared by the governor for some western parts of North Carolina tonight. But flooding fallout goes from the mountains all the way to the coast. At least 3 people have died from the storm near Charlotte when their car ran off the road into a flooded creek. And major flooding on Duke University's campus tonight. But first, meteorologist Tran Kirksey says the rain threat is not over for the Triad.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. We're going to continue to see that chance of rain as we go right on into the beginning of the work week. Here's where the rain's at right now. We have been watching a new area of development just off to our east. It's been raining in the Raleigh area for the past few hours, and we also have more rain off to our west. So we've kind of been in the middle of 2 different areas of rainfall. We've been in a bit of a lull, which is good news for us, but I am watching some more activity off to our south that's trying to drift to the north. It's starting to fizzle out just a bit. We'll zoom on in a little bit closer. You see that rain moving across Alamance County. That's where we're seeing the majority of the rain in our viewing area at the moment. That rain mainly light, a few pockets of moderate rain with that. Still dry right now in Winston-Salem, High Point, and Greensboro. Here's how our Futurecast model plays things out as we go through the night. We're going to watch that wave of rain move through. Some more rain tries to lift northward as we go through the early morning hours tomorrow morning. And I think that we're not going to see as much rain across the state tomorrow as what we had out there over the course of the weekend. But I still can't rule out some downpours bubbling up, especially as we go through the afternoon and early evening hours before we see a better chance of rain move back in as we head on into Monday night. You see that development right there moving to the foothills as we go through late Monday afternoon. As far as what's going on out there right now, you see the low cloud cover, temperatures in the 60s and 70s area wide. Temperatures aren't going to change all that much as we go through the night. I got to tell you, it's really difficult to nail down those specific high temperatures when you have rain around like this, and we've been having trouble the past couple of days. I forecasted a high temperature for today of 77. The actual high temperature only 70 degrees here. Did make it up to 80 degrees just down the street in Raleigh. As far as tomorrow is concerned, we're going to call it scattered rainfall. It's not going to rain everywhere with that high temperature of 78 degrees, and I want you to hold me to it. We'll talk more about when we'll finally start to dry out coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Firefighters from across the Triad have been busy saving people from the floods, but it's not just first responders. These 2 men jumped in to help a driver in need in Jamestown, and they're sharing their story with WFMY News 2's Ben Smart.
Ben, this road behind me was underwater early Saturday morning. Heavy rains creating a rushing river on Riverdale Drive in Jamestown. That swept away 2 drivers, their lives saved after a daring and dangerous rescue.
Yo, we closer than now.
2 Triad tow truck drivers stumble upon this dramatic scene.
While coming down a hill, we just noticed that we seen red lights in the distance.
A man stuck on his car roof surrounded by floodwaters.
The truck was actually right there where the gate, like right there where the gate meets. It was pretty much right there. It swallowed the truck just completely.
First responders on the other side of the flooded road.
A gentleman on all 4 squatched down on top of the SUV. Just waving for help.
He's a tow truck driver now, but Philip Alston is a retired firefighter with Swiftwater rescue training.
Just being a fireman 14 years, it just kind of kicked in, drilling kicked in. What can I do to help?
The pair backing their tow truck to the water, grabbing the winch cable, and swimming out in freezing water to the stranded man.
No life jacket, no nothing. It was risky, but like I said, I just wanted I wanted to help him. That's it.
And I just pulled me and him both back in, and the guy was just, give me a big hug, like, thank you for saving my life. So.
Fire officials say the man then rushed to the hospital.
We clean up wrecks and stuff every day on a daily basis, just trying to help people, I guess. I want somebody to do the same for me. That man's got a family, I'm sure, so that's the only thing I was really aiming for, just trying to help him.
And even though this rescue operation was successful, the fire department warns you never place your life in danger to rescue someone without the proper equipment and training. Reporting in Guilford County, I'm Ben Smart, WFMY News 2.
Now, if you wonder how someone could get stuck in those floodwaters, listen to this. Yesterday, a woman was stuck right here in this car. She was rescued from her car in Gibsonville, and she said it was hard to tell how bad the road really was.
I want to warn people if they see any kind of water to be very cautious, because sometimes the road only looks wet, which is what it looked to me this morning. But as I got right up to it, it wasn't just wet. It was a raging torrent that nearly took my life.
Luckily, first responders were nearby and were able to rush in and rescue her, but it came at a price. Even though she was the victim of dangerous floodwaters, she was given a ticket by the fire marshal for passing by road barriers. To really understand how terrifying this would be, check out this video on Twitter from Alexander County. The driver says she hydroplaned off the road and the rushing waters nearby picked up her car and started floating it away. Another reason to be careful on the roads, caught on camera, pavement falling apart from the floodwaters. Check out 25th Avenue in Hickory as it collapsed with our Tegna crews standing nearby. And it's not just roads and cars. Homes are also being impacted now. Down in Hickory, raging waters are threatening a nearby apartment complex. Our sister station in Charlotte says some families are being forced to spend tonight in a shelter.
Firefighters making sure people aren't in their apartments after mandatory evacuations because of this flooding and damage.
I say about 4:30 we get a knock at the door from the fire chief telling us we just had to go. We had to be evacuated.
Lakia Cleveland isn't sure when she'll be able to go home.
It was scary. The water was just rushing. It was crazy.
This was the view from her bedroom window this morning.
It's basically call my rental insurance and wait.
So they haven't even given you any timeline?
No, not at all.
As of 3:15, 42 people were at the shelter set up by the Red Cross.
Man, that thing looks dangerous.
But Mika Sample didn't evacuate. He's waiting it out with no power, no water, and 5 kids.
I never think water could do this. I never imagined. The thing about it is we go to the creek all the time and just go down there, like, go fishing a little bit. So now that I know that water could do this, I'm not gonna take the kids down there no more.
All right, honey.
The flooding in the area is really bringing out the best in people. 2 men climbed down into the rushing waters to save a fawn. You can see them carrying him up the ladder right there. This happened near Granite Falls. Cute little thing, looks just like Bambi. And they could use all the kindness and help they can get as Western Carolina continues to be hammered with rain, making it impossible to drive through or around most of the area. And with several more days of rain ahead, the flooding is likely to only get worse. The entire county of Catawba is now under a state of emergency. And check out this image along the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sections of the road have closed. The entire picnic area here you can see is almost underwater. All day long, incredible video has been pouring into our newsroom from the North Carolina mountains and the foothills. I want to show you some shocking video to look at. It looks like we might not have it here. There you go. Shocking because somewhere under all of that water is a street. Duke University was even caught up in the floods. Several campus buildings are shut down now because water started to rush into them. Glass walls were knocked out of place and even more damage was done to the walls inside the building. Employees working at the time had to rush out just to stay safe.
There's actually water inside the Divinity School in some places that I haven't seen water before. So yeah, it was pretty intense, and I think just the quantity of water in the short amount of time made a huge impact.
As more rain is expected over the next few days, school leaders say everyone needs to stay alert while on campus. And Wake County schools are warning of possible bus delays because of flooding tomorrow morning. Not only is the county concerned about the flooded roadways, but several roads are washed out altogether. The National Weather Service says that nearly 7 inches of rain have fallen in just 4 hours in that area. And yesterday, neighbors took it upon themselves in the county to help out one another, trying to close off roads that flooded.
If I can stop one person, save one life from doing that, then doing what I do is well worth it.
My buddy's yard's flooded and everything. He's got to take all his dogs inside.
NCDOT says it could be days before those roads dry off and are back to normal. Hey, one more thing to expect tomorrow, the possibility of more trees falling down. It's because the ground is just so soaked with water. This one came crashing down onto a swing set in Greensboro's Fisher Park today. And don't leave the house this week without checking the weather on WFMYnews2.com first. It will bring you the radar and the hourly forecast so you know when it's okay to take out the trash or walk the dog. North Carolina, not the only state getting drenched. Take a look at Greenville, South Carolina. The entire uptown area is flooded right now. Several streets have been closed all day because of the water. And down in Texas, at least one person has died after a crane collapsed onto an apartment complex in Dallas. Several severe storms whipped up heavy winds, which caused the crane to topple over. Another 2 people are in critical condition and 3 more in serious condition. The 2019 NFL season is still a few months away, but it's never too early to get excited about Panthers football. Several diehard fans gathered in Charlotte last week to start gearing up for the new season. This comes as the Panthers are getting ready to move their practice facilities down to South Carolina. You know, plenty of fans were nervous that the team would move everything down to South Carolina, but they've now come around to sharing their hometown team.
I think it's good to bring the 2 Carolinas together. We are supposed to be one team for both Carolinas. We're not the Charlotte Panthers, we're the Carolina Panthers.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed the Panthers bill last week, giving the tax breaks to professional sports teams that move to the state. The Panthers can now receive up to $115 million in tax breaks over the next 15 years once they move. A push to pray for first responders is coming to an end. A group in Winston-Salem has met every month since the beginning of October 2015. And at one point, they even got over 300 people to join. But today's prayer group will be the last. They say it's with a sad heart that they're ending the monthly series, all because there's been a decline in turnout. And Guilford County school teachers and leaders walked for heart health today. It was a part of the Girl Trek Challenge to raise awareness for African American heart health. Teachers hope that today helps show the students the importance of staying healthy. The Tony Awards tonight celebrated the best of Broadway in New York City, but they also had some strong ties to right here in the Triad. Meet the local nominees next.